Good afternoon, everyone, or actually good evening. It's 10:22 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm Oshenis, and here I just want to talk a little bit about Mike Lawler's Dignity Act, the supposedly not amnesty for illegal aliens. Now let's see here. 20 Republicans and 20 Democrats just co-sponsored the Dignity Act, the first bipartisan immigration bill in decades. What it actually does. No amnesty, no citizenship, no handouts, a pathway to legal work status for long-term undocumented immigrants who meet strict requirements, fully funded by the restitution payments from immigrants themselves, requiring zero taxpayer dollars. Mike Lawler's own words, it's not amnesty, it's accountability, it's fairness, it's dignity. Dude, it's amnesty. It's amnesty, dude. Anything that says a pathway to legal work status for long-term undocumented immigrants who meet strict requirements is amnesty. No matter how much these politicians want to um, foot around this fact, this is an amnesty. And I don't understand why Republicans, especially Mike Lawler is a Republican, cannot get the base correct. The base voted loud and clear in November of 2024 that we do not want amnesty, we want mass deportations. We cannot say we cannot say we have achieved mass deportations if we're just going to allow a pathway to legal work status, because all this does is it just kicks the can down the road. Ronald Reagan's amnesty basically destroyed the demographics of the United States. Like, what did that frickin' do? It just led to the issues we have today, where now we're talking about an amnesty for everyone who's come in since then. And then maybe 20 years down the line, we'll be talking about amnesty for people who've come in since the people who got amnestied this year, if this passes. I don't think it will, thankfully. But it is something we need to raise an alarm bell about. Yes, if they've been here for years working, that means they've used fake or stolen social security numbers there, and they'd be ineligible or possibly barred if false claim to USC. Yes, exactly. I'm happy that a lot of people are pointing this out. Like how, yeah, there's too many of them in the US, there's no room for them, too many Americans can't go work. Exactly. But anyways, I want to go to Lawler's own website here, his press release. And let me tell you something. Mike Lawler's from New York, which is bordered by New England, which is the I don't have to deal with the consequences of my vote belt in the United States. These New Englanders will vote for these liberal immigration policies because they'll do this thing where they vote Republican locally but vote Democratic federally, because they don't see the consequences of their votes. They can vote for a liberal immigration policy because it's not affecting them, it's affecting the states on the border like Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, California, the entire Southeast. No, I don't see any of these illegal aliens moving up to Vermont. Yeah, if they moved up to Vermont, then these New England people would be singing a different tune for sure. And upstate New York, where so let's see. Where Lawler, Salazar, who is from Florida, by the way. I'm pretty sure Salazar is from Florida, which she should be ashamed of herself. Because we have to deal with this. I'm from Florida. We have to deal with the consequences of this person's vote. And Escobar introduced historic bipartisan Dignity Act to finally fix America's broken immigration system. No, the immigration system to America is not broken. What the immigration system in America is neglected. The entire reason we have this issue in the first place is because numerous administrations have just flat out refused to enforce immigration law. We have allowed people to come over the border in mass and settle here without much punishment at all. So no, our immigration system is not broken, it's neglected, and nobody's using it correctly. What we need to do is we need to enforce every immigration law on the book in full effect. That would fix it. That would fix it. Okay, this is July 15th, 2025, so it's been a minute. It's been a few months since this was introduced. Today, Reps Lawler, Salazar, and Escobar, Florida 27, get your stuff together. Introduced a new and improved version of the Dignity Act, the Dignity Act of 2025, also Dignity Act 2.0, a bold, historic, and common sense immigration reform bill at a press conference at the Capitol. Key provisions include border security, fully funds modern border infrastructure and enforcement. Okay, that's great. Problem is that what does it matter if we're just giving amnesty to people? It doesn't matter. Then we'll just have this again. We'll have this conversation again 20 years from now. Oh well, we fully funded the border. Well, okay. Well, if that's not how it works. Mandatory e-verify prevents illegal hiring and protects American jobs. Okay, another good thing, another good tenet. But we need to. But it doesn't matter when the illegal hiring was amnestied. Asylum reform ends catch and release and ensures timely and credible outcomes. Good. So that would assume the people who are being caught are being deported, correctly? Correct? Dreamer protections. No. Grants a legal status and path to permanent residency. No, 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 no. This was an Obama program that shouldn't have been enacted. Essentially, it just overruled every immigration law that Congress passed. And yet somehow not the Supreme Court, but the district court said that Trump couldn't repeal this for whatever reason, even though it wasn't signed law. No, get rid of Dreamer, get rid of DACA, deport the so-called Dreamers. Any bill with Dreamer protection should be dead on arrival. The Dignity Program, a 7-year earned legal status program allowing undocumented immigrants to live and work legally with renewable status based on good conduct and restitution. Okay, well, how do we enforce this? If we know that there are people illegally working here, we should use that knowledge to deport them. Because if we do this, these aren't undocumented immigrants anymore. These are legalized immigrants. This is rewarding bad behavior. Workforce development expands training, apprenticeships, and education for American workers. We should be doing that without all this. I mean, without this. We should be doing it without this and this. We should be doing that anyway. Legal immigration reform, update visa categories for the line of 21st century economic needs, which are what? You know what 21st century economic needs are? The deportation of all these illegal aliens so that American youth and other American citizens can find jobs. That is the economic need. Now, you may be asking what the business need is, and the business need will always coincide with the with this thing where it's like, oh well, we need our illegal workers so we can pay them less and circumvent labor laws. Yeah, I'm sure the Business Chamber of Commerce lobby is all on board with this, but they don't define 21st century economic needs. That is what the citizenry defines. If the citizenry is saying our economic needs aren't getting met, it doesn't matter what the Chamber of Commerce says. In conversations across NY17, I've heard a lot of frustration from employers struggling to fill jobs. Are they really? Because from what I'm seeing, a lot of the time, employers are just skipping over people who have filled out applications. I've heard so many horror stories about people who send out so many applications and each one just skipped over with no explanation. Because the employers want cheap labor. They want illegal alien labor. And they really don't understand the needs of the average American. And families looking to reunite with their loved ones. Okay, they can reunite with their loved ones in the country of origin. We must do this by fixing our broken legal immigration system, securing our borders, and creating a fair process for those who are already here and contributing. The Dignity Act honors Americans' legacy of being a nation of immigrants, and that's why I'm proud to support it. Again, like I can go into how mass legal immigration is also bad, but you can't just say that our legal immigration system is broken. I've said it earlier. It's not broken. We just neglected it to the point where anybody and everybody could come across the border and set up shop, and they'll be given amnesty in like 10 years, 20 years if they wait long enough. It's a waiting out the clock situation. The Dignity Act of 2025 is a revolutionary bill that offers a solution to our immigration crisis, secure the border, stop illegal immigration, and provide an earned opportunity for long-term immigrants to stay here and work, said Congresswoman Salazar. No amnesty, no handouts, no citizenship, just accountability and a path to stability for our economy and our future. This is an amnesty. Why are these people trying to say this isn't an amnesty? This is an amnesty. If you are providing a path to citizenship for illegal aliens due to job issues and employment, you are giving them an amnesty. If an illegal alien is not being deported, they are given an amnesty. That's how it works. There's two choices here: deportation or amnesty. There's no middle ground. I have seen firsthand the devastating consequences of our broken immigration system, and as a member of Congress, I take seriously my obligation to propose a solution. Realistic, common sense compromise is achievable and is especially important given the urgency of this moment. I consider the Dignity Act of 2025 a critical first step to overhauling this broken system. Immigrants, especially those who have been in the United States for decades, make up a critical component of our communities and also the American workforce and economy. The vast majority of immigrants are hardworking, law-abiding residents, and most Americans recognize that it is in our country's best interest to find bipartisan reforms. But you don't want reform, you want an amnesty. Like, why would I not be surprised that people with the last name Escobar or Salazar would be in favor of this? Like, I get it, you're advocating for your own ethnic interest, but come on. We can enact legislation that incorporates both humanity and security, and the Dignity Act of 2025 offers a balanced approach that restores dignity to people who have tried to navigate a broken system for far too long. There cannot be a middle ground here. You can have secure borders, you can have amnesty, you cannot have both. Because again, the moment we give amnesty once, we'll have to give it a second time later down the line. Reagan gave amnesty, then Bush gave amnesty, then Obama gave DACA. Thankfully, Biden didn't have the chance to give amnesty, but I'm sure he would have if they had sent this to his desk. Like, Trump is the only person so far who is actively standing between amnesty and being discussed and amnesty being reality. Because right now this is just a discussion being had. This is not a major bill. I don't think it's even gone into committee yet. But still, we shouldn't be talking about we should be talking about it, but we shouldn't be the politicians should not be talking about this. They should be talking about things that benefit Americans, not illegal aliens. The reintroduction of this legislation includes changes that reflect the challenges in today's political climate. Yes, just deport them all. That's the challenge, and we have to meet that challenge. I am proud of my bipartisan work with Representative Salazar, who has been a strong partner on this issue since December 2022. It is our hope that Congress seizes the opportunity to take an important step forward on this issue. Do not. It's past time for Congress to move reasonable immigration reform that restores law and order into legal immigration and provides a solution to undocumented immigrants who meet certain requirements, the chance to live and work here legally. There is a solution. It is called deporting them back to their countries of origin. Why is this so difficult? It's not difficult at all. We funded ICE. We've superfunded ICE, actually. Let them do their jobs. Let them get everyone out of here. Stop obstructing the work that needs to be done. And then this is obstructionism. Immigration reform has long been one of my top priorities. I'm proud to help lead this bipartisan effort to secure our border, fix our immigration system, and strengthen our economy. As the grandson of Mexican immigrants and a former cop and soldier, I have seen firsthand the importance of a secure border and fair immigration system, said Congressman Evans. I am proud to introduce Congressman Salazar's Bipartisan Dignity Act, which prioritizes border security while delivering a practical solution for immigrants who want to work hard, follow our laws, and be productive members of society. Our legislation accomplishes what Latino business owners and community members have been asking for, give immigrants positively contributing to our community and opportunity to pursue the American dream. Okay. What? You secure border doesn't matter if we're just doing this every 20 years. Because what's going to happen is we'll pass this, if it passes, and then some Democrat will come into office, open the borders again, and then maybe a Republican comes back or someone else and then closes it, and then we have this exact same discussion because a bunch of people came over here during the Democratic president's neglect of the border. So this is not a concrete solution to the problem. The only solution is deportation, mass deportation, and a shutting down of the border and strict requirements for legal entry. And I mean strict. I don't mean we're going to be letting in millions of people a year. I mean we should be letting in hundreds if we are to let somebody in. It shouldn't be over 1,000 people per year. And those people should be culturally compatible with the majority of Americans. I'm talking people like the Afrikaners, the Germans, the Norwegians, the British, the Dutch, the Italians, Europeans. Because, again, all this does is contribute to the demographic crisis that America is facing. We cannot have a stable country if we turn ourselves into Yugoslavia 2.0. Because this is, I'd say, even worse than Yugoslavia, because at least Yugoslavs, the Croatians, the Serbians, they were all white. Like, I can't tell the difference between a Croat and a Serb if I go over there. Until I hear him speak, I guess. But the reason why we have a lot of issues in the country, in this country, is because we allow a bunch of people from culturally incompatible places to come here. Like, it's not so much like the Mexicans or the Latinos that are the issue, it's like the Somalians. I'm sure this must cover Somalis. We've had this entire discussion going on in Minnesota where they've just been scamming everybody. Like like this says it funds border security and protects American jobs, but does it? Anyway, I just wanted to share this because I think it's important to talk about, and I am 100% in opposition to any amnesty whatsoever. Anything less than mass deportations, I am against. But anyway, guys, I hope you have a good night, and I will come back maybe in 2 days or so. It depends. I've had a few issues with school lately. I almost didn't record tonight because I got soaked after getting rained on for a prolonged period of time, but so if I sound weird, that's why. But I'll be back in a couple days. Have a good night, everybody.